it's MK, and I am here with Off the Board. I am also playing along with Color Craze. And for the Off the Board, Janet and I have been using Pinterest-inspired color palettes this entire month. So that was pretty easy to say that it's an Off the Board project. And then I'm also playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. And today I am using day 25s on day 25. That surprises me. And the sketch that was designed today is by Daisie Scraps. So I am actually going to be turning her layout into pocket pages today. I really like sketches like this that I can divide and conquer into a pocket page. So I can use the upper cluster as a really cool cluster. And then same with the bottom two clusters that she's got going on. So I absolutely love dissecting sketches like this and using them for pocket pages. So what I have here is a pocket page that is new to me. I picked it up from scrapbook.com. I think it's a scrapbook.com exclusive or their brand, or not exclusive, but their brand. And it's a 9x12, but then it has a flip flap attached to it that is 3 4x6 photos. So it's super cool, which means you can put actually 6 of them because front and back. And then the 9x12s are split in half. So you've got 9x6 and then a 9x6. So I'm going to treat it as if it's a 9x12 layout going up and down on both sides. And then I'll figure out how to put that layout in the pockets because they split down the middle. And I'll let you know in the end how I'm going to make that work. So all of my elements came from the Nature Study page kit, and it actually came from this page kit right here. I'm not going to be using this. I just wanted to share with you guys where I got all of my elements because they were absolutely perfect for my little kitty photo. Even the brown can be seen on the little bench that the kitty is sitting on because it's like a painted wood bench and then the paint's faded and you can see a little bit of the brown. So I was like, that is absolutely perfect. And then also from Nature Study, the foundation papers, I am going to be using this gorgeous yellow color. I have to say, you guys, I am very sad that Nature Study has already been discontinued and the pieces are now hard to get. Because I absolutely love this color. But like all the other collections, even though I'm very sad to see this go, I think it'll be okay based on the fact that I'll still be able to play with another collection that comes on next. So, all right, just for a quick little reference, I was trying to see exactly if I planned on using this or not, but I don't think I do. I did bring in this yellow to work with both pages. And I clearly have way more photos than I needed, so I'm going to have to downsize that as well. I brought in this gray from Nature Study as well, but I don't end up using it because I do bring in a gray from Close to My Heart that was double-sided, and I'm going to use that. I also contemplate on having flip-flaps. So I put the 3 photos that I don't pick out. I went ahead and I matted them, and I double matted them because I cut them down super small. So I can double mat them and they still be a 4x6. But I'm not sure if I have enough to say about these particular photos because I don't have anything to go on the other side of my 4x6. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'm contemplating on the flip-flap idea. And I do follow through with matting my photos, but I'm not sure if that's the idea that I'm going to go for. Because on my side flap, I only have 5 photos and I have an entire blank sheet, which I don't cover in this particular video. I leave it blank because if I do end up, wax poeting about this particular area, it's going to end up being typed out and just put down. It might even be a printed copy of what I find online about these pictures. This is my husband and I at the Train Museum. I want to say we are in Ely at the actual train museum. So I know that there is a train yard museum where the trains used to actually do their business. So at the actual where you would go to catch the train, train station. That's the word I'm thinking of. So the train station itself is the museum, and that's where you go and see the active trains and whatnot. But down the road a bit from the museum is the actual train museum, and you get to read about the history of Ely, Nevada. And it's not just, it does have quite a bit of really cool trains. You can't get on them like you can in Carson City, but it does have quite a bit of unique trains that they don't put on the tracks anymore. But it also has a bunch of unique items that were used in Ely, like this fire truck, which I thought was pretty cool, a convertible fire truck. But it was a pump and roll. And the really cool part about this particular fire truck is that the reason why there's no roof is because they used to drive it while the other firemen operated it. They stood in the back and actually fought the fires from the truck while pointing the hose and calling it good. And then, of course, my husband and I taking a photo in front of a caboose that you can't see, but it's on the other side of the flip-flap. And then the other two photos are of a building that it was some sort of, what was it called? Not a storage shed. Archival building type of deal for one of the mines. Basically, it's where they kept their records of where they have dug for their ore and whatnot. And so that's why all the mining equipment are still around the building to give that representation. And, they have what we call coal carts, but they're ore carts around there and whatnot. A blade, I believe, to keep the tracks clean. And stuff like that. So basically, I divided and conquered. I took all of the elements that were from the original page kit, and I divided them between my two pages, so that way I'm able to make two pages. And then I am trying to stick with how Daisie set up her layout, which is a photo that is very central to her layout, and then elements above and below. So I have my central photo, which is my fire truck, and I am putting elements above it, but for below it, I am actually doing borders instead of having something hang down, and then I have to cut it in half. I did not want to do that. So I'm basically just taking her top area and doing the decorations above the photo, but I did want to put a little shelf for my photo to sit on. And then the bottom photo down below, isn't supposed to be there, but I am taking a nod to her elements peeking up from the page, and bringing those up. So I've got my little doily, and I've got my one little yellow piece that I split in half, so that way I could use it at the top and at the bottom, and then built my cluster going up from those pieces. I really do like how I made this look. Now, I am ignoring her little black stripes that she has on either side of her layout, on the left and the right sides. I really didn't know where. I contemplated on doing them as stitches, but I wasn't sure how thick this layout is going to be. And if I do a messy stitch, it might make it too thick. I already do know that I have to trim these down. I made them just a little bit on the too big side. So when I go to put them in the pocket page, I did get a little bend out of them. So I already have to trim them down some. And I don't know. I really wanted to concentrate more on the embellishments and whatnot rather than the lines on the side. I didn't want to bring too much attention. But now that I think about it, I probably could have done one line on this side and then one line on my other side instead of doing both lines on both little layouts that I'm doing. So I do want to add a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to cut some foam tape and pop up my photo here. I feel like because my page is so big, it's a 9x6. I feel like because it is that big, I am able to add just a little bit of dimension, but I also think that also keyed into helping it bow just a little bit and why I needed to trim them down. Because I do end up, I think that's the only one I end up adding dimension to. I can't really remember. So just trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate my tickets and my foliage. I love this little frame here that looks like it's a Polaroid, an empty Polaroid, but it has that small little staple on it. I also used a little stapled word up at the top by the butterfly. I think it just says, "Remember this." Very, very tiny. And I just love that small little element. It almost looks like I've stapled my photo to this little cluster going on. So I really like that. I really like the addition of the little yellow roses. I feel like it helps me. Here's where I'm contemplating on whether or not I want to do the flip flaps, because I'm going to be covering up most of all this work that I'm doing. So I'm not really sure exactly where I did that. But did you see that? Did I cut off and make these 12 inches? I don't know. Let's hope so. So now I'm going to be working on the other side of my layout. And again, I'm trying to go off of Daisie's sketch. I definitely want to represent the sketch, but I feel like this one here is going to be represented more at the upper photo than it is at the bottom photo, because I don't want to do the exact same thing that I just did. I want something different. So what I'm going to do is rip my little yellow stripe in half, and I'm going to be putting it above and below, just like in Daisie's sketch, and then create something going around my photo up at the top. But down at the bottom, I'm just going to concentrate on the bottom half of Daisy's photo in her sketch, and make something go there instead of having my elements come from up. Since I didn't do that portion of it on the other photo, I thought, I can still do it here and it still look like it's this, different but the same type of deal. Like I'm pulling all my inspiration from that photo, minus the little lines that she's got going on either side. I do think that this sketch has so much potential. I absolutely love sketches like this. Like I said, I can take it apart or I can do it as a whole. I just absolutely love it. And once I figure out how I'm going to lay out all my pieces, I do end up going ahead and putting them all together. Like I said, both of these photos are of the same. They're just me walking around. These giant pulleys are from one of the hoists that hoist the miners down into a shaft. Ely didn't necessarily have a very deep shaft, but they do have a shaft of some sort. And so their pulleys aren't as big as the ones that I showed you guys or shared with you guys from Virginia City. But they did have, they still do have an active mine there. I'm not really sure exactly if it is an underground mine or just a surface mine. I do not know a lot about that mine that is in Ely, but I do know that it is their mainly their where the people that live there work is over at that mine site. I will have to look into that. I know my husband knows a lot more about that mine than I do because he visits it quite frequently because of his what he does for a living. So anyways, gonna go ahead and just take all of the elements that I picked out. I love the little border strips inside those this page kit. Some of them are chipboard pieces and some of them are just remnants that are paper. That little doily piece that makes it look like the doily is peeking out from a couple pieces of paper are just perfect. They are the perfect amount of detail for something like this that I don't want a whole lot, but I want enough to where there's something there. And then I do have the details, and then I think it says all the little details is what that little tag says. Yes, it does. So I had to add a little bit of dimension there because I'm putting a chipboard piece on top of a chipboard piece. And then same with the details. I'm putting a chipboard piece on top of a chipboard piece and just tying it all in together. So that is the upper portion of my page. Like I said, I was trying to mimic where Daisie's sketch had the, something up at the top and then something down at the bottom, but I definitely wanted to concentrate more at the bottom because I didn't do that in the first little layout that I did. So, and the same with the second photo as well. And again, I'm just trying to see if I do want all of these photos. Now, probably one of those photos I could definitely put on the other side of a flip flap and only have the one flipping and flapping. But for the second fire truck, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be doing anything. But that is all my little tiny layouts that I have done today, thanks to Daisie's inspiration. I love dissecting layouts like this, you guys. I definitely need to do a lot more because I have a lot more pocket pages before I can finish and say 2021's album is done. I am ashamed to say that it's going to be 15 albums long, but we were making up for a whole year of not doing anything. So I definitely wanted to get the best of our year. We did a lot of trips in 2021. And most of them were just us, trips to museums like this and trips to, the outdoors. We visited our backyard a lot. And I documented every little bit of it because we just felt like we were stuffy inside and didn't do anything in 2020. So anyways, that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. Don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel to see how she used this cute little kitty cat sitting on a bench. Also, too, don't forget about the 2 links that I have down below for Series 13, Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. I have the they are both Facebook groups. One is to actually join the Facebook group if you guys are not a member. And then the other one is the link just for this series here. If you want to go and see all the inspiration using Daisie's sketch. Daisy, thank you so much for an awesome, awesome sketch. And don't forget all the links down below for everybody playing along with Off the Board and seeing what everybody has chosen for their inspiration that they pick from Pinterest. So anyways, again, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.